All right, we are back here at WLTH 1370 AM. This is After Hours with me, Scott Cannon. Hope you enjoyed the Julio Iglesias and Willie Nelson to all the girls I've loved before. Yes. We are back after hours. Everybody's gone home. Yes. This is Straight Out of the Cannon with me, Scott Cannon, here on WLTH 1370 AM. Well, folks, we are getting closer and closer and closer to Election Day, which I believe is November 7th. I might want to look that up. I believe it's November 7th. You can start voting early, which is what I always recommend, October the 8th here in Lake County, Indiana. I don't know about Chicago and the rest of the surrounding areas, but for us, it's October 8th. You could, 7th? 8th. One of those days you can start voting early, and I suggest that. But one thing I don't suggest, especially if you are a black person, is to degrade yourself, to prostrate yourself, to flagellate yourself in order to gain the acceptance of people who are not from our community. That I don't recommend at all. I don't suggest that at all. But unfortunately, you have those in our community who take being accepted by people who are not in our community more seriously than they take their own dignity. And for those people, we have this segment called Look at the Coons. Look at the Coons. So who's the coon of this week? Who's going out of their way to coon? It is a man named Mark Robinson. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to this. Mark Robinson is the candidate for governor in North Carolina. He is a big Trump supporter. He would actually be the first black governor of North Carolina if he was elected, but now there is absolutely zero chance of that happening. The reason for that is that this guy, Mark Robinson, who is black, at least in melanin, he possesses melanin in his body. A bunch of posts that he has made on the internet have now come to light. And whoa boy, whoa boy, you guys really need to listen to this, okay? He essentially said that he was a black Nazi on a website. That's basically what he's claimed, that he was a black Nazi. For some context, this is this story, I got this from CNN. Mark Robinson, the controversial and socially conservative Republican nominee for governor of North Carolina, made a series of inflammatory comments on a pornography website's message board more than a decade ago, in which he referred to himself as a black Nazi and expressed support for reinstating slavery. Despite a recent history of anti-transgender rhetoric, Robinson also said he enjoyed watching transgender pornography. A review of archived messages found in which he referred to himself as a perv. The comments, which he denies making, because he has no choice but to deny some of this stuff, predates his entry into politics and his current stint as North Carolina's lieutenant governor. They were made under a username that CNN was able to identify as Robinson by matching a litany of biographical details and shared email address between the two. So that's how they get you nowadays. You use the same email address across different websites and use a username, the same username in a bunch of different websites, they can essentially track you down and anything you said. Many of Robinson's comments were gratuitously sexual and lewd in nature. They were made between the years 2008 and 2012 on Nude Africa, a pornographic website that includes a message board. The comments were made under the username Mini Soldier, a moniker that Robinson uses frequently online. Hold on, caller. Robinson lists his full name on his profile for Nude Africa, which is obviously a low IQ move by him here, as well as an email address that he uses on numerous websites across the internet for decades. So again, if you're using the same email address, the same username, beware. They can connect the dots to figure out who you are. CNN is only reporting a small portion of Robinson's comments on the website, given their graphic nature. Many of his comments on Nude Africa, I'm still tripping that the site is called Nude Africa, stand in contrast to his public stances on issues such as abortion and transgender rights. Publicly, Robinson has fiercely argued that people should use bathrooms only that correspond to the gender they were assigned at birth. He's also said transgender women should be arrested for using women's restrooms. He said, if you're a man on Friday night and all of a sudden on Saturday you feel like a woman and you want to go into the women's bathroom in the mall, you will be arrested or whatever we got to do to you, he said at a campaign rally in February this year. We are going to protect our women. Yet privately under the username Mini Soldier on Nude Africa, Robinson graphically described his own arousal as an adult from the memory of secretly peeping on women in public gym showers as a 14-year-old. Robinson recounted the story as a memory he said he still fantasizes about. He said, I came to a spot that was a dead end but had two big vent covers over it. It just so happened it overlooked the showers. I sat there for about an hour and watched as several girls came in and showered, he wrote on this website. In other comments on Nude Africa, Robinson discussed his affinity for transgender pornography. He said, I like watching tranny on girl porn. That's bleeping hot. It takes the man out. It takes the man out while leaving the man in. Wait, I gotta say that. It takes the man out while leaving the man in. And he said, and yeah, I'm a perv too. In an interview with CNN last Thursday, Robinson repeatedly denied that he made these comments on Nude Africa. He said, this is not us. These are not our words, and this is not anything that is characteristic of me, Robinson said. Presented with the litany of evidence connecting him with the Mini Soldier username on Nude Africa, Robinson said, I'm not going to get into the minutia of how somebody manufactured these many salacious lies. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Like, that's just nonsense. That's complete nonsense. They got your email address. They got you. You actually are dumb. Were dumb enough to use your full name where you were registered, and your actual email address that you use all across the internet. They got you, bro. They got you. You should have just said that you were trolling. You should have just said that you were trolling. CNN first reached out to Robinson on Tuesday with evidence connecting him to the comments on Nude Africa. It took his campaign about 2 days to respond and issue a denial. Now, Robinson, who would become North Carolina's first black governor if he was elected, also repeatedly maligned civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. Like, seriously, he repeatedly maligned Martin Luther King Jr.
Look at the coon.
Yes, look at the coon. Attacking him in such intense terms that a user accused him of being a white supremacist. Get that bleeping commie bastard off of the National Mall, Robinson wrote about the dedication of the memorial to King in Washington, D.C. by then President Barack Obama. I'm not in the KKK. They don't let blacks join. If I was in the KKK, I would have called him Martin Lucifer Coon, Robinson responded. CNN's reporting on Robinson's comments comes a few weeks after the Assembly, a North Carolina digital publication, reported that Robinson frequented local video pornography shops in the 1990s and 2000s. The story cited 6 people who interacted and saw him frequent the stores in Greensboro, North Carolina. A spokesperson for Robinson called the story false and complete fiction. Now that one's a little bit different. He's not really doing anything illegal. I mean, it's a free country. He said he's a perv. I mean, he's not, as a consenting adult, he has a right to frequent those type of shops if he wants to. I don't see how that's relevant in this situation. But despite earning the full endorsement of former President Donald Trump, of course, and the North Carolina Republican Party, Robinson now faces an uphill battle in the race for governor against Stein. Robinson's history of controversial remarks include mocking school shooting survivors. Wow. He supported total abortion bans without exceptions for rape and incest. He disparaged the civil rights movement. And all these things have been a consistent theme in his race against Stein. On the Nude Africa website, in both comments and his profile, Mini Soldier offered many details that align with Robinson's personal history. In his profile, Mini Soldier listed his full name as Mark Robinson. How dumb could you be? And disclosed a private email address Robinson uses elsewhere online. In 2012, a user responded to a comment by calling Mini Soldier Mark. Mini Soldier mentioned in 2008 that he had been married for 18 years, which corresponds with Robinson's marriage to Yolanda Hill in 1990. In 2011, Mini Soldier wrote that he had been married for 21 years. And he wrote that he lived in Greensboro, North Carolina, the same town where Robinson lived at the time and currently lives. In the pornography forums, what kind of pornography forums are this that they're talking about politics? Like, I'm not saying that I'm like well versed. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying, like, is this what people be talking about? Like, in the pornographic forums, Robinson revealed his unvarnished thoughts on issues such as race, gender, and abortion. Like, why are they doing this on those type of forums? Like, what is going on here? Writing in a forum discussing black Republicans in October 2010, Robinson stated, unprovoked, "I'm a black Nazi." Like, this dude literally said, "I'm a black Nazi." The same month, Robinson wrote in another post that he supported the return of slavery. Good God. He said, "Slavery is not bad. Some people need to be slaves. I wish they would bring it back. I would certainly buy a few." Wow. In March of 2012, Robinson wrote that he preferred the former leader of Nazi Germany, Adolf Hitler, over the leader of Washington during the administration of Barack Obama. He said, "I'd take Hitler over any of the bleep that's in Washington right now." Wow. Robinson's comments on this website frequently contain derogatory and racial slurs directed at Black, Jewish, and Muslim people. In a series of 7 posts in October 2011, Robinson disparaged Martin Luther King in such intense terms, calling him a commie bastard and worse than a maggot, and called him a phony and a huckster, that a user in the thread accused him of being in the KKK. Robinson responded by directing a slur at Dr. King. He also used the anti-Semitic slur "Heeb" when discussing how much he liked the show Good Times, developed by Norman Lear, saying that the show itself was a bunch of Heeb-written liberal BS, basically. When discussing the Taliban, he referred to Muslims as little rag-headed bastards and said if Muslims took over, liberals would be the first ones beheaded. Good God. This guy is an incredible like Uncle Tom, Uncle Ruckus. What? Like, it's hard to believe that somebody like this actually exists. 60 years after civil rights. Now, obviously, this man is losing badly. He will not be the next governor of North Carolina. But this is important because it just shows you that there are some people in this country, some black people in our community. I'm talking to black folks now. There are some people in our community who are blatantly lost, who are literally infected with such self-hatred that they would resort to the type of nonsense that he has. And he actually made his wife film a commercial. I saw his wife Yolanda, who is black, which shocked me. Him saying all these horrible things about black people, he's somehow married to a black woman. But I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. Ben Carson's wife is black. Alan West's wife is black. Herman Cain's wife was black. A lot of these real Uncle Ruckus type conservatives have black wives, which is shocking to me. But it also makes me question what's going on with these sisters. Like, how could you be married to a man that holds such bilious hatred in his heart for your own people? Like, what is wrong with you, sister? And then she actually recorded a campaign ad for her husband. Like, exactly how does that, why would you even put your reputation on the line for somebody like this? So, Mark Robinson, you are officially Raccoon of the Week here at Straight Out of the Cannon.
Look at the cool.